So Funko recently mentioned in a sales call that they have not really been doing well the last year. And in part of that conference, they had mentioned about a 30% decrease as terms to products and taking them out to have better sales. So I'm DK Wrestler, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 20 different products that Funko makes and basically either giving it a green card, meaning that they should keep continuing that, a yellow card, meaning they should make it, but they really need to slow down on that product, or a red card, meaning they seriously need to f off and end this product right now. So let's get right to it. So the first product I definitely have to mention is just your regular standard 4-inch Funko Pop. You gotta give it a green card. That's basically how we got into Funko in the first place, is from these 4-inch Pops. If I'm gonna give it either, let's say, a yellow card or a red card, it's because of, let's say, some of those multi-packs that they make, because of just slapping random 4-inch Pops and then just adding an exclusive sticker like they did for like Stranger Things, for example. Or if they're making lineups where maybe there are 20 in a set and it's just too much to get at one time. The 6-inch Pop, I'm gonna also give it a green card because I feel like they don't really make that much 6-inch Pops as it is. And if they do make 6-inch Pops, it's because it's for the right reason. Like, let's say if you have a much bigger person as terms to a TV series or a movie, then obviously they need the 6-inch treatment because it just doesn't make sense for them to be the 4-inch treatment. Up next is the 10-inch Pop, and I'm gonna give it a yellow card. They do make quite a bit of 10-inch Pops, and as of late, they haven't really been selling well because of the price point of what it is, because it is a massive figure. And I do feel like here and there, they're just making 10-inch Pops that just don't make sense, especially recently, they made a Snoop Dogg 10-inch Pop. Did he really need to be a 10-inch figure? I don't actually think so. The 18-inch Pop, or as they call it, the Mega Size Funko Pop. This is definitely a big red card. They really need to end the 18-inch Pops. Every single one that they have made thus far, even the ones that were limited piece count, don't make sense. Like, Batman shouldn't be an 18-inch Pop, Boba Fett shouldn't be an 18-inch Pop, Pikachu doesn't really make sense, although it kind of at the same time, because when you compare humans to like the real life size of Pokemon, 10 to 18-inch there is pretty much the exact same size as a Pokemon, so in that aspect it's cool, but at the same time, it really takes up a lot of room in your collection, and they don't have the proper like windows that we normally see deluxe and moments Pops. I'm gonna give this a yellow card. I think that there definitely should be moments Pops and there should be deluxe Pops, but they somewhat have oversaturated with those kinds of Funko Pops, and especially if you take the "and" out of what I'm saying and do deluxe moments like they did with Elf, Home Alone, and Stranger Things, then I feel like in that case, the deluxe moments realistically should be a red card, but some of them are cool, so I'm sticking with the yellow card for that aspect. The Pop albums. I'm gonna give this a yellow card. I almost wanted to give it a green card considering I do like the albums, but they have been making a lot of repeats as terms to artists. Like Notorious B.I.G. has 3 Pop albums already, while a lot of artists don't even have their first Pop albums yet. And I think this is a lineup that can be executed very well if they actually bring in artists that have never had Pops in the Pop Rocks lineup and make their debut into Pop form through the Pop albums, making it a reason for you to buy that Pop album. But moving over to the deluxe albums, as much as I feel like some of them are cool, these are definitely a red card. These take up a lot of room in your collection. They are at a pretty big price point. At least here in Canada, they're around $80 to $90. So they're very pricey when all you're getting is 5 Pops and then just one side of that huge box is just the cover album. And especially when you have cases like AC/DC's Back in Black, where they made a Pop album and then they decided to make a deluxe albums for that same album, which was just a waste of time. The Funko covers, whether it's VHS covers, comic covers, I'm gonna give it a yellow card. Slow down that lineup. They've made a lot of comic covers, especially a lot of Wolverines, which I feel like there shouldn't be that many Wolverines. So I feel like you should just slow down the lineup, give us like one of each character first before seeing if there's a demand. And then especially when you got the VHS covers and then the Slam magazine covers, which is, there's just a lot going on with that. So yellow card, the Pop trading cards. These are definitely a red card for me. I just feel like it's a little bit pointless. They should have done it with pocket pops and then actually make it like the actual like trading card size. I think that would have made more sense instead of just making a 4-inch pop with basically the same size. I don't think they really do that well either, and especially when they do those Panini exclusive ones where all that's different is just a different background and the same pop, it just doesn't make sense. It's just a waste of time. So yeah, red card for trading cards. Next up is the Pop movie posters, and I'm gonna give this lineup a red card. I feel like it's a little bit pointless. Why make the movie posters when you already do the Pop VHS covers? I mean, I get it in a way considering that not a lot of movies you can make are VHSs and that they've either transferred to DVD or you can just stream it in 4K or whatever. But what they should have done is Pop movie posters or just Pop movie covers and make it the size that they do with the VHS covers already and just make it one big lineup and not separating it once again just like the deluxe albums of like $80, $90, even $100, and then you get a 6-inch figure instead of the 4-inch figure. I just feel like it's a waste of time in my opinion. The Funko Pop pins, and these are a definite red card. These definitely need to be scrapped. I've seen so many stores with a huge stock of Pop pins. Even though there are chases for some of them, I just feel, I don't know, I feel like if you want a pin, you want the tiny pins. Next up is the Bitty Pops, one of Funko's brand new products, and it's too early to tell, which is why I'm giving it the green card, because there hasn't really been that many, so I feel that at the moment you can't really like say let's end Bitty Pops because it's brand new. It is starting to get a little bit of hype, so I feel like keep continuing with the Bitty Pops, but don't oversaturate it so much though. The Funko NFTs, something that we like to do a lot on the channel, and I gotta give it a yellow card. Lately, they have been making a lot of drops. You're seeing basically drops every 2 weeks, and it just hurts a lot of our wallets, and especially with the slim chance of getting a redeemable pop. Although it is fun, it is very expensive at the same time, and I feel like with these, it has actually oversaturated the actual NFT market and not just Funko Pops. I love the idea, obviously, because it's a way to get limited piece count Funko Pops, but yeah, there's just so many NFT drops that a lot of times it's hard to buy in on all of the drops. So that's why I'm giving it a yellow card. I think they should keep continuing it, obviously, because it makes Funko a lot of money, but just slow down to maybe even back to when they used to do only one drop a month. Next up is Funko Soda figures, and I gotta give this the yellow card. I feel like they've made so many Funko Sodas, not only when they first started, but even now with the existence of the no piece count Funko Sodas. And if I was separating the no piece count sodas from regular piece count sodas, it would definitely be a red card, but because I'm mixing both together, it is a yellow card, especially because obviously sodas being limited piece counts, that's cool, but they really need to slow down, especially eliminate the no piece count sodas because a lot of them aren't selling in stores. There's a huge oversaturation of them, and it's kind of ruining the purpose of why sodas were made in the first place, to be limited piece counts, and that there's not so much of an oversaturation of that character. The Funko Gold figures, I gotta give these a red card. I mean, these are one of, in my opinion, Funko's worst products that they've done. My co-host MD Shady really enjoys these, but for me, these are definitely a red card, and I think a lot of you guys would agree that these are a red card considering that they just don't really look that appealing, and especially Funko Golds are so bad that I can actually go to a retail store, like let's say Toys R Us here in Canada, and actually find the chase sitting on the shelf there, which is pretty bad considering that all chases usually get snagged up and sold on the secondary market. But when you make a product that people won't even buy the chase for and let it sit on the shelf, yeah, that's definitely a red card in my opinion. Funko Games, red card. I get it, they're trying to appeal to a different part of the market, but at the same time, a lot of their games are super confusing even for the casual buyer to get. They're just sitting on the shelf and eventually they have to even put them at a super low clearance cost and people still aren't buying them then. So yeah, this has got to be a red card, especially because I feel like Funko Games was a part of that huge $30 million landfill dump. The vinyl minis, the mystery minis that have a window on them and you actually know what they are before you get them, red card. I absolutely hate these, and I see a lot of them sit on the shelves because it defeats the purpose of what mystery minis are, where you would open it up, you don't know what it is until you open up the bag. With this, you know what character it is already, and if it was a 1 in 6 from the already existing mystery minis, they're gonna sit around because you don't need that one. That one is already already so common to get if you're buying a full case, there's no purpose of actually buying that. So I feel like even though they are continuing to make them, this is something that definitely needs to end, and they need to really pump up the mystery minis. And speaking of mystery minis, that is what is next, and I'm gonna give it a yellow card. Even though they have really slowed down on Funko mystery minis as of late, especially making the mini vinyl figures, I feel like though that mystery minis need to be a once in a blue moon kind of product. I know they were really oversaturating with the product 3 or 4 years ago, where I felt like almost every wave of Funko Pops also had a case of mystery minis to go along with it. Next up is the Loungefly products, and I'm gonna have to give the Loungefly products a big yellow card. It is that price point that just kind of drive people off of wanting to get them. They are very like designer-esque products, but I do feel that there is a huge market for people wanting to get these, especially a lot of them are tiny backpacks made for women. But when you make stuff, especially when you do the pop and bag bundles and they cost $120 US on the Funko shop, that just kind of throws people off, especially because they most likely want the pop and not the bag to go along with it. Although they are pretty cool, eliminate the pop and bag bundles, but still keep the Loungefly products, but make less of them. And last but not least, I wanted to save this one for last because once again, it's a new Funko product. It is the Blockbuster Rewind figures, and because it is a brand new product, I am going to have to give it the green card. Now, this might be a little bit of a hot take, it might be controversial because there is a bit of a divide between people not liking Blockbuster Rewinds, but people that are liking Blockbuster Rewinds. I do enjoy the Blockbuster Rewinds. I do love the concept behind it, especially for nostalgia purposes. And so far, I find that they are doing a great job as terms to choosing a character and especially coming up with the chase. They have had a lot of really awesome chases thus far as terms to the Blockbuster Rewind figures. When you look at the Scooby-Doo Blockbuster Rewind figures, the chases are just completely different characters. When you have characters like, let's say, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters, and then you open it up and you either get this one, which is the common that I ended up getting, or you get the burnt Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, I actually think they pulled off that chase much better than when they did the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man Funko Soda figure. Those are things I really like to see, and although there are some, I will admit, that don't have the greatest chases, but that is kind of to be expected. But I think so far Blockbuster Rewind is super underrated, and I think it's gonna really exceed expectations, and I think it's something that Funko shouldn't scrap yet. Give it about a year or two, let's see how it is, and if it does pretty horribly, then of course give it the red card. But for right now, it definitely does deserve the green card because I do feel it's going to be one of Funko's big products, maybe even number 3 behind Funko Pops and Funko Sodas. Anyways guys, that's gonna be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know some products that maybe I didn't mention, and I will let you know whether I would give it a green card, a yellow card, or I'd give it a red card for that matter. But thank you for watching today's video, and I hope to see you guys next time. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.